Is self-led the same as being awake, or is there another stage of deeper disidentification with parts and greater identification with self? Okay, they're saying self-led and awake, two separate things, two entirely separate things. They're saying awareness of parts. Okay, they're saying awareness parts, awareness parts, awareness of parts. And when they're showing that, it's like I'm seeing layers of parts coming to an awareness, and the next layer coming to awareness, and the next layer coming to awareness. Awake is different layers of parts coming to awareness. Not all the same. Not all the same. Many, many, many layers of awake, of what is called awake. Called awake, called awake, called awake. What the parts define as awake, because they came to this new awareness within themselves. That is their awake and what they woke up to. Okay, deep, 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 deep. They could say deep 1,000 times, but they won't. Deep, 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 deep identification with parts is self-leadership. Increase in self-leadership is increase in identification with parts. Always, always, always deeply identified. Not meshed and merged together. I mean, they're showing me like a part just coming over my head, and now I am the part. They're saying it's not that. It is. I know this part's experience so deeply. I identify with it as me. It is not the entirety of me, it is a part of me, and yet it is me. Because I know this experience. I have felt this experience, and I have loved this experience. I have loved what is held within this part. And therefore, I know it deeply. I have accepted it completely. This part is me. I am not it. It is me. And when I say it is me, it's like that part is just inherently held in my heart, whether it's physically there or not. There is this. They're saying a beautiful imprint of this part within my own heart, regardless of whether that is where it is in the moment. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful imprint of this part contained within the heart and all that it is. Deeply, deeply, deeply is and was. And was. And they're talking about was. What do you want to say around that? They're showing was as the released burdens. Just was. No longer. Gone. Was. understanding the was and loving the is, and therefore loving the was also. Every aspect and experience of this part. Loving that. Loving that, loving that, loving that. Any questions?
I don't hear this reflected by any of the awakened, enlightened teachers that I hear teaching, whether it's Eckhart Tolle or Michael Singer. Like, parts seem to be grouped with ego, which I tend to see as a burden that's on top of parts rather than parts themselves. And kind of disidentified from and starved into silence, really, through paying no attention. I may be misunderstanding these teachers, but I'm curious to hear the guide's reflections on that.
Is there anything that you would like to say around this? They're saying this is something they would love to speak around in a larger capacity, a much larger capacity, in a lengthy answer that you don't have time for today. In a nutshell, some of your observances are correct in some of these people, not all of these people. Oh, interesting. So at first they showed like two ins out here, and they're showing like managers and firefighters, or just polarizations in general, right? And then they show one down here being exiles. And then they're showing here, okay, what is this? The appearance of self and self qualities. You're saying the appearance of self and self qualities. So they're showing over here, it coming into here and coming into this center thing. They're saying parts accessing these qualities, not allowing self to lead. They're talking about extreme managers. They're saying not all the time, but oftentimes. They're saying extreme managers using these qualities and the ways that they see fit to gain the outcomes that they wish to gain. They wish to gain. They're really emphasizing that they wish to gain. They're talking about keeping it up and out of the deeper waters, or the parts that are unaccepted. Oh, okay. So they were showing something like the qualities and like a restraining, and they're showing like a beautiful wild horse that is actually that is really divine and wise and deeply intelligent, and all these amazing, incredible ways of being entirely who it already is, right? It's just wild horse, beautiful and incredible and unique, and exactly who it is. And now they're showing like reins on it. Blocked in just the right ways to allow it to come through how these parts see fit. Oh, and then they're saying that, and now it's just this little kid. It's this little kid in a cowboy suit, just, just like it's a little kid in this suit that's way too big, and this kid has like this fierce face. He's very determined, like he's gonna do what he's gonna do, and it gives the illusion. They're saying of because at first it gave the illusion of an adult on the horse, and then the adult and the restraints disappear. And it gives the illusion of a perfect horse. And then they're showing, and so that's like this perfect horse that you see like running and just running through a meadow or a field or whatever it is, and the hair just flaps, and all the, like, this like picturesque thing that you would see in any advertisement, right? And then what you see is the real wild horse in all its messy glory. And you see this beautiful, joyful horse that is just like, it is rolling in the mud and just having a blast, and it's splashing in the water and kicking up rocks and getting really curious and messing up things, right? Messing up according to whomever is watching. And yet it is at its most perfection, at its greatest beauty. It is expressing its greatest beauty and perfection. Expressing, expressing, expressing. This is the short version. Short version.